The entire senior class was waiting for me to confess my love to Lily Vance. Her best friend nudged her, a teasing tone in her voice. Your number one lapdog is here again. You ready to friend zone him? Lily's lips curled into a faint, barely there smile, her eyes holding that familiar look of cool detachment. But I walked straight past her without so much as a glance. Under her stunned gaze, I shredded the love letter I had spent 3 years writing. Excuse me, coming through. This time I was done. But why did her eyes suddenly rim with red? Why did she chase after me like she was losing her mind? The noise of the graduation ceremony still echoed in my ears. On the football field, students in caps and gowns were taking photos in groups, their laughter and the shutter clicks composing the final movement of our youth. Everyone's eyes were drifting, intentionally or not, toward the same spot. Me and Lily. I'm Jason Cole, a student so ordinary I blended into the drywall. For 3 years, my only label was Lily Vance's number one simp. Lily, on the other hand, was the undisputed queen of Northbridge High. Wealthy family, stellar grades, and a face so breathtakingly cold, she seemed like the moon, beautiful but impossible to touch. Everyone knew that today, the moment the ceremony ended, was the day I had been preparing for 3 years. The day of the confession. My best friend, Matt Davis, was stomping his foot anxiously beside me. Jay, go. If you don't do it now, you'll lose your chance forever. Look, Lily is standing right there waiting for you. I followed his gaze. Lily stood in a white dress, a pristine lily amidst the crowd. Her best friend, Sarah Miller, was whispering something in her ear, wearing a look that said she was ready for a show. Lily wasn't smiling. She just tilted her chin up slightly, her gaze sweeping over the crowd before landing on me with a look of scrutiny and entitlement I knew too well. I was too familiar with that look. In my past life, it was that exact look she gave me when I held a bouquet of flowers in front of the whole school, using every ounce of my courage to tell her I loved her. And then, in the coldest voice imaginable, she delivered the words that cut the deepest. Jason, we aren't a match. Your affection is just a burden to me. The crowd erupted in laughter, some pitying, most mocking. I stood there like a clown, playing the fool in the final act of my high school years. After that, my life spiraled into failure. I heard she got together with Chad Sterling, the rich heir. I heard they got engaged. I heard. And me? In a drunken stupor, I chased a hallucination of her into the street and was crushed by a truck, ending a pathetic life. Reborn. Back to this intersection of fate. I held the letter I'd rewritten 1,000 times, but my heart was dead calm. Screw the burden. Screw the affection. Jay, why are you zoning out? Matt shoved me. Go, man. The boys are rooting for you. People were already starting to catcall. Jason, be a man and do it. Confess. 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 Lily's brow furrowed almost imperceptibly, seemingly annoyed by the noise, but she stayed put, waiting for me to walk the final stretch of my fool's journey. I took a deep breath. Under everyone's gaze, I started walking. The crowd parted automatically for me. Sarah Miller's laugh got louder. Here he comes. The show of the year is finally starting. The corner of Lily's mouth lifted into that familiar arc of superiority. I walked steadily, step by step. Everyone thought I would stop in front of her, but I kept my eyes forward and walked right past her. 1 step, 2 steps. The jeering stopped abruptly. Everyone froze. The expression on Lily's face solidified instantly. That prepared, cool smile meant for rejection froze at the corners of her mouth, looking utterly ridiculous. I could feel her shock, her disbelief, her gaze prickling my back like needles. I didn't stop. I walked to the trash can at the edge of the field. In front of everyone, I took the letter that held the humble love of my entire youth and tore into pieces bit by bit. Rip! The sound wasn't loud, but it exploded like thunder in everyone's hearts. The paper confetti fluttered down like late snow, burying my past. I dusted off my hands, turned, and prepared to leave this suffocating place. Jason Cole. A voice trembling with shock and anger came from behind. It was Lily. I turned back to see her staring death daggers at me. Her usually placid face was showing intense emotion for the first time. Her eyes held shock, confusion, and the rage of someone who had been offended. What is the meaning of this? She demanded, her voice shrill with agitation. The crowd was dead silent. Everyone was speechless at this plot twist. This wasn't how the script was supposed to go. I looked at her, for the first time viewing her with the calm eyes of a stranger. No meaning, I said flatly. Exactly what it looks like. You. Lily choked on my attitude. She seemingly never imagined I would speak to her like this. Didn't you always like me? For 3 years, you. Her words were chaotic, desperately searching for a logical explanation. I chuckled lightly, cutting her off. Oh, that. I spread my hands, a relaxed smile on my face. I probably had water in my brain, but it's drained out now. I am so better. Excuse me, you're blocking my way. I stopped looking at her and turned to leave. Stop. Lily's voice held a panic she hadn't even realized herself. She rushed up and grabbed my wrist. Her hand was cold, her grip tight, her knuckles turning white. I frowned, stopped, and looked down her hand on my arm. Let go. My voice dropped to 0 degrees. Jason, you owe me an explanation. She looked at me stubbornly, her eyes actually reddening. What do you take me for? Was I just a game to you? I almost laughed out of sheer absurdity. A game? Who played whom? Who treated my genuine heart like mud on a shoe? Who enjoyed the superiority my pursuit gave her while refusing to give me a shred of respect? Now that I didn't want to play, she was upset. Lily, I said, enunciating every word, my voice devoid of warmth. Put away your pathetic superiority complex. The world doesn't revolve around you. Not everyone has to like you. I was an idiot before, but I'm done being an idiot. A piece of advice, get over yourself. I yanked my arm back, breaking her grip. This time, she didn't chase me. I walked out of the school gates without looking back, leaving the noise, the shock, and a burning, complicated gaze far behind me. Reborn. My life needed a new way of living. Back in my rented 10-square-meter room, I exhaled heavily and collapsed onto the bed. The room smelled of cheap instant noodles. A poster of Lily Vance was taped to the wall, stolen from the school bulletin board. Looking at the girl with the faint smile on the poster, my heart didn't even skip a beat. I sat up, ripped the poster down without hesitation, crumpled it into a ball, and tossed it in the trash. Doing that made the air in the room feel cleaner. In my past life, I spent countless nights in this tiny room staring at that poster, fantasizing and heartbroken. After graduation, just to stay in Seattle and be close to her, I took a low-paying job, worked like a dog, and scraped together every penny to buy her expensive gifts, only to get a lukewarm response. I lived like a beggar pleading for scraps. In the end, I didn't win her heart. I lost my own life. I fought with my parents because I insisted on staying here, cutting ties with them. My friends drifted away because I couldn't talk about anything but Lily. Until I died under those cold truck wheels, alone. How pathetic. My phone buzzed. A text from Matt. Jay, are you crazy? Do you know what you did today? The school forum is exploding. You ripped the love letter in public and roasted Lily. You're a legend, bro. Then another one. But seriously, what's your play? Hard to get? That's risky, man. Lily looked pale as a ghost. I smiled and typed back. Not playing hard to get. Just woke up. Matt was silent for a long time before sending a question mark. I didn't explain further. Some things only those who have died can understand. I turned off my phone and started calculating my future. It was the summer of 2014, an era full of opportunities. The mobile internet wave was just rising, short-form video hadn't appeared yet, and the gig economy was in its infancy. With my memories from the future, making my first pot of gold wouldn't be hard. I didn't need to be a business tycoon. I just wanted to give my parents a good life and make up for the debts of my past life. I opened my beat-up secondhand laptop and started searching for information. My capital was small, only $5,000 I'd saved by starving myself. In my past life, I spent that money on a necklace Lily had mentioned. She received it, said, thanks, and that was it. Now this $5,000 would be the foundation of my rise. I quickly locked onto a target, Bitcoin. In the summer of 2014, Bitcoin was at a historical low, hovering around $300 a coin. Many people thought it was a scam, a bubble. But I knew that in a few years, it would skyrocket to tens of thousands of dollars per coin. I didn't need to wait that long. I just needed to catch a small bull run to accumulate my initial capital. I wasted no time. I spent the whole day figuring out how to buy Bitcoin, registering accounts, and linking cards. When I dumped every cent I had into the market, buying just under 17 coins, my palms were sweating. It was a thrill I'd never felt before. This wasn't for anyone else. It wasn't for some ethereal love. I was placing a bet on my own life. Jason Cole, you will succeed, I whispered to the computer screen. For the next few days, I completely cut ties with my past life. I blocked everyone connected to Lily and exited all group chats where I might see her messages. Every day, besides checking the price charts, I went to the library to study finance and management. My life finally started revolving around me. About a week later, Matt suddenly called me, his voice urgent. Jay, check the school forum. Huge news. I frowned, impatient. What is it? It's Lily. She posted a thread looking for you. My heart skipped a beat, but I quickly calmed down. Looking for me? For what? What did she say? She said she wants to apologize to you in person for her attitude before. She hopes you can give her a chance to explain. Matt sounded incredulous. Jay, did the sun rise in the west? The Ice Queen is apologizing? What kind of magic spell did you put on her? I fell silent. An apology? If this were my past life, hearing this would have kept me awake for 3 days from excitement. But now I only felt irony. Where was this before? When I handed you my heart, you treated it like trash. Now that I've taken my heart back, you want to apologize? Ridiculous. Got it, I replied flatly. So what are you going to do? You going to see her? Matt pressed. No. I spat out the word. Don't tell me about her anymore. I hung up. I checked the computer. Bitcoin had quietly risen by 10%. The corner of my mouth lifted. Lily, we are people of 2 different worlds now. Your apology is worthless to me. Time flew, and soon it was time to report for college. Lily and I had been accepted to the same university, Northbridge Business School. In my past life, this was my dream come true because it meant I could be on the same campus as her. I'd even given up a better school for this. Thinking back, I was unbelievably stupid. However, Northbridge was a top-tier finance school, which would help my future plans. I dragged my battered suitcase onto the bus to the university district. My parents called to ask if I had enough money, their voices laced with cautious care. In my past life, because I fought with them, they never knew how broke I was until I died. This time, I spoke gently, telling them I was safe and had applied for a student loan so they wouldn't worry. Mom, Dad, once I make money, I'm buying you a big house in the city. I promised solemnly. My mom wept with joy on the other end. Hanging up, my eyes were moist. I would not let them down in this life. At the university, the registration line was a mile long. I was looking down at the Bitcoin charts on my phone when a familiar, cool voice sounded behind me. Jason. My body stiffened, but I didn't turn around. Footsteps got closer, stopping beside me. A faint scent of gardenias drifted into my nose, the scent I had been obsessed with for 3 years. Now it just smelled pungent. It really is you. Lily's voice held a trace of hidden surprise. I slowly looked up, staring at her blankly. Can I help you? Lily seemed choked by my cold attitude. She was wearing a pale blue dress and exquisite light makeup. Even in the heat and noise, she looked like a painting. Several guys nearby were already staring. I didn't expect to run into you here. She tucked a strand of hair behind her ear unnaturally. You're at this school too? I sneered internally. In the past life, she knew perfectly well I applied here for her. Now, she was feigning surprise? Did she want to imply she never cared enough to know? Phoenix. Yeah. I squeezed out a single syllable, turned my head, and went back to my phone, treating her like air. Lily's face turned ugly. With her looks and status, when had she ever been so thoroughly ignored? Especially by Jason Cole, the guy who used to obey her every command. The onlookers' gazes were getting amused. A stunner initiates a conversation, and the guy ignores her? That's a show. Lily's pride was clearly challenged. She took a deep breath, trying to maintain her poise. Jason, about graduation day, I wanted it. Hey, buddy, move it. You're blocking the line. A lazy voice interrupted Lily. I looked up to see a guy in designer clothes, with linen-dyed hair, looking at Lily with impatience. It was Chad Sterling, Lily's other suitor, and the rich kid she ended up with in my past life. Talk about enemies crossing paths. Chad clearly recognized Lily, his eyes lighting up, but then he saw me, and his expression turned scornful. Yo, who is this? Isn't this our high school Romeo, Jason Cole? He spoke with a sarcastic drawl. What? Did you stalk her all the way to college? Save it, man. A toad doesn't eat swan meat. In my past life, I felt inferior every time I saw Chad. I couldn't lift my head. But now, looking at him, I was looking at a jumping clown. I didn't even bother acknowledging him. I just said to Lily, control your dog. Who the hell are you calling a dog? Chad exploded instantly, pointing a finger at my nose. Lily's face went pale. She didn't expect Jason to say something so humiliating in front of everyone. Jason, that's too much. She bit her lip, looking at me with eyes full of disappointment and grievance. Looking at her playing the victim, I just found it funny. Too much. I stepped forward, closing the distance, and spoke so only the 3 of us could hear. This is too much, compared to you treating my heart like garbage for 3 years, using me as a tool to show off your charm. Who is too much? Chad, you like her. That's your business. But don't mess with me. I turned and glanced coldly at Chad, or you'll regret it. My eyes were cold, carrying the hostility of a man who had died once. Chad felt a chill and actually took a half step back. When he realized it, he turned furious. You dare threaten me? Do you know who I am? I ignored his barking. The line moved, so I stepped forward, widening the distance. Behind me, Chad's cursing and Lily's suppressed defense mixed together. Lily, ignore that poor loser. He's just jealous of me. Chad, stop it. Jason isn't like that. He isn't? Did you hear what he called you? And you're defending him. I smirked. The show was just beginning. Lily, did you think an apology would fix it? You will personally experience everything you owe me. The taste of being ignored, humiliated, and treated like a joke. After registration, I got my dorm key. It was a quad. 2 roommates were already there. One was, shockingly, my best friend Matt. Holy crap. Jay, we're roomies. Matt tackled me in excitement. I laughed and punched his arm. Nice luck, man. The other roommate was a polite guy with glasses named Alex Young. We clicked immediately. Jay, you missed it. While you were registering, Lily and that Chad guy got into a fight behind you. Matt gossiped while helping me make my bed. It was epic. Oh, I feigned ignorance. Chad kept calling you names, saying you were punching above your weight, and Lily defended you, saying you weren't like that. They almost got into a shouting match. Matt spoke with animated gestures. Finally, Lily got so mad her face went white, and she just walked off, ignored Chad completely. I'm telling you, the Ice Queen definitely has lingering feelings. Your hard-to-get strategy is working miracles. I smiled noncommittally. Lingering feelings? No, she just wasn't used to it. A satellite that always orbited her suddenly broke orbit. She didn't feel loss. She felt the anger of being offended and a loss of control. She just wanted to pull me back into her gravity to regain that sense of superiority. Too bad. I wouldn't give her the chance. That afternoon, we went to the convocation ceremony. The massive auditorium was packed. I deliberately picked a corner seat in the back. However, just as the ceremony was about to start, a figure walked straight toward me. It was Lily. She seemed to have sought me out. Seeing the empty seat next to me, her eyes lit up, and she moved to sit. Taken, I said without looking up. Lily froze, standing awkwardly in place. Jason. Jay, I'm back. Matt ran over holding 2 water bottles and flopped into the empty seat beside me. He saw Lily and froze, then winked at me excessively. Oh, hey, Campus Queen Lily. What a coincidence. You looking for our boy Jay? A flush rose on Lily's cheeks. She stood there, unable to leave or stay. I still didn't look at her, just uncapped my water and drank, acting as if she were an irrelevant stranger. This complete disregard hurt more than any cruel words. People nearby noticed and started whispering. Isn't that the freshman beauty, Lily Vance? Who's the guy? Huge ego. The beauty approaches him, and he ignores her. Think his name is Jason Cole. Heard he was a famous simp for her in high school. Don't know why he flipped the script. The whispers weren't loud, but they were clear enough for Lily to hear. Her face went from red to white, then to a sickly green. Her fists clenched, body trembling slightly. I could imagine her feelings. Proud as she was, when had she ever suffered such public embarrassment? Finally, seemingly making a decision, she took a deep breath, bent down, and whispered in a pleading tone. Jason, can we talk? Just 5 minutes. There was a distinct tremor of grievance in her voice. Even Matt stared, forgetting to drink his water. Was this the high and mighty Ice Queen? I finally looked up, meeting her eyes. They were full of stubbornness, expectation, and a complex emotion I couldn't read. Fine. I nodded. Lily's eyes instantly lit up with surprise. But I pivoted, my voice turning cold. I have nothing to talk to you about. The light in her face extinguished instantly. You, Ms. Vance, I stood up. My height allowed me to look down at her. I'll say this one last time. We are done. Please stop disturbing my life. You used to ignore me. Now you can't afford me. Heard that saying? Although you can still technically reach me now, believe me, very soon, you won't even be qualified to look up at me. After that, ignoring her shock-drained face, I told Matt, I'm going out for some air, and walked out of the auditorium. Behind me was dead silence and a gaze that almost drilled a hole in my back. Walking out, the sunlight was blinding. I exhaled a long breath of turbid air. Nice. It felt amazing. The resentment, unwillingness, and pain from my past life seemed to release in that moment. I wasn't taking revenge. I was just reclaiming the dignity that should have been mine. My phone buzzed. Bitcoin was up again. A confident smile touched my lips. Lily chat, you people I used to look up to, soon you'll realize the distance between us will only grow. And this time, I'm the one looking down. College life was freer than I imagined. Aside from necessary classes, I poured all my time into my career. Using the funds from flipping Bitcoin, I leased a small storefront on the busiest food street near campus. It wasn't big, maybe 150 square feet, but the rent wasn't cheap. Matt's eyes nearly popped out when he found out. Jay, are you crazy? Where'd you get the money? Loan sharks. He grabbed my arm, terrified. Relax, the money is clean. I patted his shoulder, smiling mysteriously. Starting today, you're the co-owner. I was making fried chicken. It sounded low-tech, but relying on my memories. I knew a unique marinade recipe and a new sales model that would make my shop stand out. For the next 2 weeks, I worked nonstop. Renovation, equipment, testing recipes, permits. I slept 4 hours a night. I lost weight, but my spirit was high. Matt was drafted as labor. He complained, but worked harder than anyone. Jay, what's the name? Matt asked while painting the wall. I thought for a moment. Let's call it the Golden Crisp. Sounds a bit generic. Generic is easy to remember. I laughed. I'm going to make it the #1 chicken in Seattle. No, the country. Matt looked at the confidence in my eyes. It seemed unrealistic, but he was infected by my mood and nodded. All right, Golden Crisp. During those 2 weeks, Lily didn't come looking for me. I saw her occasionally on campus, usually with Chad buzzing around her like a fly. Every time she saw me, her eyes got complicated. She wanted to approach, but seemed hesitant, eventually just watching me until I disappeared. I didn't care. I was too busy planning my future, making money, building my life. Her girlish drama seemed childish and laughable to me. Finally, in late September, the Golden Crisp opened. I ran up buy one get one free promo. Matt wore a cartoon chicken apron I designed, shouting sales pitches at the door. Amanda Fryer. Golden, crispy chicken came out of the oil, dusted with my secret spice blend. A domineering aroma instantly flooded the street. Curious students gathered. Boss, how much? Try it. If it's not good, it's free. I handed a fresh wing to a guy. He took a skeptical bite, and his eyes lit up. Holy crap, that's good. Crispy outside, juicy inside. Boss, give me a combo. Once the first person broke the ice, the crowd surged. Boss, 1 here, 2 to go. Matt and I were run off our feet, money flowing in. We sold out in 3 hours. That night, seeing the cash box full, we laughed until our sides hurt. Jay, we're rich. Matt hugged the box. I lit a cigarette, inhaling deep. Through the smoke, I saw the blueprint of the future. This was just the start. The next day, business was even crazier. The line stretched to the end of the street. Amidst the chaos, a familiar figure appeared. Lily. She didn't line up. She stood outside the crowd, watching me in my greasy apron, sweating but commanding the kitchen. Her eyes were full of shock. She couldn't connect this intent business owner with the cowardly Jason of the past. Sarah was with her, sneering. Lil, look at him. A fried chicken guy? What kind of future is that? Look at his grease. Compared to Chad, he's dirt. Lily didn't speak, just biting her lip, staring at me. I noticed her, gave a glancing look, and went back to work. To me, she was no different from the customers in line. Maybe my indifference stung her again. She took a deep breath, pushed through the crowd, and walked to the counter. Matt, counting change, froze. Lily, I'm looking for Jason, she said, enunciating every word. I looked up, wiping sweat from my forehead. Buying chicken? Get in line. Lily's face flushed bright red. The crowd laughed. A beautiful back of the line. No special treatment. Lily trembled. She had never been embarrassed like this. Jason, she gritted out, I'm not here to buy chicken. Oh, I nodded, my tone as flat as discussing the weather. Then move aside, you're blocking my business. I looked down, ignoring her. You, Lily shook with rage, eyes reddening. Sarah rushed up, pointing at me. Jason, who do you think you are? You think opening a crappy chicken shack makes you big? Lily came to see you out of pity. Don't be ungrateful. Before I could speak, the customers revolted. Hey, watch your mouth. The owner is working. If you aren't buying, leave. The chicken is good and the guy is nice. Take your drama elsewhere. The public eye was sharp. My quality and prices had won the students over. Sarah was speechless. Lily tugged her sleeve. Sarah, stop. Let's go. Her voice was thick with tears. She gave me one last deep look. Anger, grievance, unwillingness, and a trace of regret she didn't even realize herself. Then she turned and fled the scene in humiliation. Watching her flee, I felt no joy. Just calm. Lily, this is just the beginning. The pain you gave me, I will return 100-fold in the gentlest, cruelest way. The news of the Ice Queen rejected by Chicken Boss spread through Northbridge Business School like wildfire. The forums exploded. Some called me petty. Others said Lily deserved it. Most just wanted popcorn. I became a campus celebrity. My shop became famous. Chad was furious. He tried to cause trouble, bringing thugs to the store. I called my new contacts in the police and health department, people I'd won over with free meals and charm. Chad's friends ran the moment they heard sirens. Chad was left standing there, purple with rage. Jason, you just wait, he threatened weakly. I laughed. Child's play. After that, Chad went quiet. Lily disappeared from my world. Matt said she took sick leave. Jay, was that too harsh? He asked worriedly. She looked like she was going to cry. I wiped the counter. Does her crying have anything to do with me? Matt shut up. He knew the old Jason was dead. With the shop stable, I started the next phase. I hired students to run the day-to-day and rented a small office downtown. I registered Coldstream Tech. No one knew this shell company would soon start a tidal wave. I wrote a business plan. My goal wasn't chicken. It was the short video revolution. One afternoon, while working on my pitch deck, a strange number called. I answered. A weak, cold female voice. Jason, it's me. Lily. What is it? I'm sick in the hospital. Can you come see me? Her voice held a careful plea. I could imagine her lonely and helpless. In my past life, I would have sprinted there. Now, I looked at my business plan. Sore, I'm Buse. Silence. I could hear her breathing. Jason, do you hate me that much? Hate? I laughed. No, I said, leaning back. I don't hate you. I just don't love you anymore. Hate takes energy. I needed mine for success. Lily, people pay for their actions. You're just tasting what you dished out. That's all. Bye. I hung up and blocked the number. I finished the last slide of the deck and typed my name under founder, Jason Cole. Outside, the sunset was blood red. A new era was starting, and I would be its king. With Lily cut off, life normalized. Coldstream Tech hired its first team, young talent from local universities. They were skeptical. Mr. Cole, short video. Everyone uses Twitter and Facebook. Who watches 15-second clips? Asked Leo Harris, my tech lead. I didn't argue. I projected the presentation. Market analysis, user psychology, the algorithm. I laid out the future I knew was coming. The room went silent. When I finished, applause erupted. Leo's eyes shone. Mr. Cole, I'm in. Let's do this. We worked like maniacs. I lived at the office. Matt told me Lily was back at school. She had changed. She's not with Chad anymore. She's quieter. She came to the chicken shop, ate alone in the corner, and left. Let her be, I said, as long as she pays. Jay, do you really feel nothing? Nothing, I said. I only have feelings for my app. I looked at the prototype interface. I named it Vibe. A month later, Vibe V1. 0 was ready. The swipe interface and algorithm were addictive. Launch, Leo asked. Not yet. We need content. I launched the Campus Star Creator Contest with huge cash prizes. It detonated the university scene. Attractive, talented students flooded Vibe. Downloads skyrocketed. Then, a familiar name hit the leaderboard. Lily Vance. She posted a video. No makeup, playing guitar on the lawn, singing a folk song. The sunlight hit her face. It was cinematic. The video got 1 million likes in a day. She was dubbed the folk goddess. Matt told me immediately. I watched the video. She had talent. But why? To get my attention? My phone rang. Stranger. Jason, did you see the video? Lily's voice was nervous. I did. What do you think? Not bad. She paused. Jason, I did this for you. I want to show you I'm not just a pretty face. I can be excellent. I want to stand before you as Lily, not the campus queen. Can I chase you? The girl who once discarded me was now asking to chase me. Irony at its finest. I walked to the window. Lily, do you think the current you is good enough for me? Dead silence. In the past, she implied I wasn't good enough. Now I return the question. She choked. What do you mean? I know I was wrong. I'm changing. Why say that? You think lowering yourself and playing guitar wipes away the damage? You're naive. Your excellence is worthless to me. You don't know love. You only love yourself. Stop performing. Don't bother me. Click. I felt nothing. Her change was surprising, but too late. My ship had sailed. Vibe exploded. 10 million users in 2 months. VCs swarmed. I chose a top firm and closed series of funding. $50 million. I was instantly a tech multi-millionaire. I bought my parents a Riverview condo. My mom cried on the phone. At the celebration party, everyone was drunk. Matt cried on my shoulder. Jay, we made it. I stepped onto the balcony. The city lights were beautiful. My phone rang. Jason Cole, are you a man? It was Chad Sterling, screaming. Speak. What did you do to Lily? She locked herself in her room. If anything happens to her, I'll kill you. Is she your daughter? Why do I care? Tell her to stop the pity play. And Chad? I hate threats. I blocked him. I didn't take him seriously, but I underestimated his stupidity. Days later, Coldstream Tech was under attack. Smear campaigns flooded the internet. Vibe steals data. Vibe corrupts youth. Jason Cole, fraud exposed. The app rating tanked. Users uninstalled. Investors panicked. Mr. Cole, what do we do? Asked the operations director. I looked out the window. He wants war? He gets war. Activate Plan B. Plan B? The nuclear option? Leo asked. I nodded. Chad thinks he can ruin me. I'm going to erase his family from this city. Chad used his family's media connections and bought farms. My company was bleeding. I was a pariah. Staff were quitting. Matt was frantic. Jay, we're losing everything. Relax, I said. The sky isn't falling. I had known this was coming. In my past life, I knew the dark history of the Sterling family's wealth, embezzlement of state assets. I had the names and the dates. I just needed a trigger. Chad pulled it for me. I called Nina Cross, a top PR crisis manager I'd hired. Nina, execute. Understood, Mr. Cole. We fought back with transparency reports and lawsuits. It stabilized the situation, but Chad escalated, sending inspectors to my shop and office daily. I waited. 2 days later, my phone exploded with news alerts. Breaking. Tycoon Charles Sterling arrested for embezzlement. Sterling Group stock crashes. Corruption providence. The inspectors in my office saw the news, turned pale, and fled. My staff looked at me with awe. They realized their boss was terrifying. I called Chad. Jason, was it you? He sounded broken. It was me. Why? You ruined my dad. My family. Why? You started this. I gave you a chance. You wanted to make me nothing? Look who's nothing now. And by the way, that was just the appetizer. I have more evidence. Next time, it won't just be your dad. I hung up. He was finished. The phone rang again. Local number. Jason. Lily crying. Please. Let the Sterlings go. Let them go. Please, for the sake of our past. What past? I asked coldly. Lily, what gives you the right to negotiate? She went silent. He slandered me, tried to bankrupt me. Where was your mercy then? His dad stole millions from workers. Where was your mercy then? Now that you lost, you want forgiveness? Save your sane act. But you won. Why can't you be the bigger person? Be the bigger person? Did you spare me when you humiliated me for 3 years? Did Chad spare me? Why should I? I'm not destroying them completely because I'm kind. It's because I don't want to dirty my hands any further. As for you, stay away from me. I hung up and blocked her for good. The Sterling empire collapsed. Be the bigger person? Did you spare me when you humiliated me for 3 years? Did Chad spare me? Why should I? I'm not destroying them completely because I'm kind. It's because I don't want to dirty my hands any further. As for you, stay away from me. I hung up and blocked her for good. The Sterling empire collapsed. Chad ended up in debt, working construction, allegedly going insane. Lily dropped out of school. Her father's business, tied to the Sterlings, failed. The campus queen fell to earth. I didn't care. Vibe grew. We launched Livestream shopping. Revenue soared. 1 year later, Coldstream Tech IPO'd on NASDAQ in New York. I rang the bell. I was a billionaire. At the gala, Matt hugged me. We did it, bro. A waiter approached. Mr. Cole, Ms. Vance is outside. She says she's an old friend. I paused. Let her in. In the VIP suite, I saw Lily. She looked different. Worn. The arrogance was gone, replaced by a weary silence. She wore a cheap suit. Jason. Seat. What do you want? I asked. I came. To apologize. For what? The rejection or the pleading? She flinched. Both. I was selfish. I treated your love as an entitlement. When you left, I panicked. I tried to win you back from my ego. But after my family fell, I understood how hard life is. I understood how you felt. She cried. I am sorry. She bowed deeply. I watched her. Her apology was sincere. But my heart was stone. Done. Yes. Then go. We are from different worlds now. She swayed, looking at me with despair. I understand. She bowed again and walked out. Her back looked lonely. I felt a sense of finality. The karma of 2 lives was settled. Mr. Cole, should I walk her out? My assistant asked. No. I walked to the window, looking at the New York skyline. Book a flight home. My battlefield is back on the West Coast. Back in Seattle, I became Mr. Cole, the icon. I moved my parents into a mansion. I traveled with them. Seeing their smiles made it all worth it. Matt became VP and married a girl from HR. Jay, when are you settling down? He'd ask. I just smiled. Women threw themselves at me, but I felt nothing. One night at a charity gala, Nina Cross approached me. Mr. Cole. I ran into Lily Vance. Oh, she's doing marketing for a small firm. She asked about you. If you were happy. If you had a girlfriend. Nina, stop. She seems sincere, Jason. Her sincerity is cheap. Don't interfere in my personal life. Nina apologized and left. I felt annoyed. Why did that name still haunt me? On the way home, I got a text. Unknown number. Jason, I'm leaving Seattle tomorrow. Going to teach in a rural area. Probably won't come back. I just wanted to say goodbye. You were the brightest light in my life, and I extinguished it. Saw the, be happy. Lily. I stared at the screen. Sir, home, the driver asked. To the airport. I stood in the terminal, wearing sunglasses. I saw her. She looked like a student again, simple clothes, calm. She walked toward security. At the checkpoint, she stopped. She turned and looked right at me, across the crowd. She smiled. A bright, unclouded smile. She waved gently. Then she turned and walked through. Gone. I stood there until the final boarding call. I took off my glasses. My eyes were wet. Not for her, but for the boy who died. He was finally free. Home, I told the driver. I deleted the text. Life went on. Vibe conquered the world. I was on the cover of Forbes. Matt's wedding was loud. I was the best man. Seeing him happy, I felt a twinge of envy. That night, I went back to my old, tiny rental room. I kept paying rent on it. I lay on the bed, smelling the cheap noodles, remembering the start. My phone rang. Nina. Mr. Cole, sorry to call late. I received a package from the countryside. It's a diary. From Lily. A diary? She said, if you want to read it, I should give it to you. If not, burn it. She said it's the explanation she owes you. Send it to my office. The next day, I unlocked the diary. Page 1. For Jason and my dead youth. It started in high school. Another boy confessed. Boring. They only like my face. Mom says I have to be cold. Make them work for it. Jason brought breakfast again. He's persistent. It documented my 3 years from her cold perspective. She was trapped in a persona created by her mother. Then, graduation day. He didn't confess. He tore the letter. My heart hurt. He changed. He's shining. I think. I might like him. This scares me. The second half was regret. I went to his chicken shop. He looked so handsome working. I ate the chicken and cried. I saw him on the NASDAQ screen. He is a king. I am dust. The last entry. I'm leaving. Jason, I love you. I owe you this sentence. I don't ask for forgiveness. I just hope you find someone who loves you. Goodbye, my only love. I closed the diary, tears streaming down my face. Under the ice, she had a heart. We were just too young. We missed each other in the flood of time. I locked the diary in the safe. I called Nina. Find out exactly where Lily is. Yes, Mr. Cole. I walked to the window. The sky was blue. I smiled. Maybe it wasn't too late. This time, I would walk toward you. Story complete.